Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And last week we created a couple of really cute cards with the Pet Love stamp set. Whoever has seen literally anything about me would know that I love my pets, my doodle in particular. So we're actually going to create a scrapbooking layout today with pictures of my doodle. And I think the pictures are like hilarious. So last week I created a couple of cards. So if you missed them, you can jump over to my YouTube channel and check them out. So we did this one and this one. And I talked about like using a reusable resource and some tips along the way. So today I had this idea that, so Stampin' Up! Also during the month of September, their creativity challenge is using the alphas. So I wanted to use the alphas on my layout today because I actually love the alphas. So they're the party alphas, and they're 165263 is their item number. But so I knew I wanted to use the alphas on my layout. And if you saw the picture I posted earlier today, my idea was I knew that I was going to do like some gold accents on my layout. So I wanted the letters to look like they were dipped in gold. And my original thought was I was going to use like gold embossing powder, but I wanted it really like smooth. So this is what I came up with. So I'm going to show you how I created them, but our title is Woof, because she is just like, actually the funny thing is she doesn't actually bark. So it's very rare to hear Emmy bark. You can probably hear her all the time in my office behind me, but she doesn't really bark very often. So I guess that's kind of an ironic title for this scrapbooking layout. But I'm going to add my desk in here. I did do some things beforehand, but I'm going to show you how I created the letters because I really like the way they turned out. Okay, so let's add my desk in here. Okay, and we're going to have to fix some light situation and some crooked stuff we've got going on. There we go. Okay, so that's my title over there. Here's some light. We'll balance it. Okay, so this is going to be a single page layout because I'm going to show you the photos. You're going to think they're hilarious. Okay, so here we go. So we've got lots coming from that. This is just my party alphas. I'll show you how I did the letters as we go. So if you guys have any questions as we go, feel free to ask. Just drop them into the comments. There's a huge delay, right? So if I don't see them right away, don't worry about it. I do come back and try and answer most of the questions. And yeah, I just lost that train of thought. So that's as much train of thought as I've got today. Okay, so here we go. And I have grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to see how much ends up on the layout and how much doesn't. But I do have like a general plan. Okay, so they had this fun day at daycare. So she does go to daycare. Since we lost my other doodle, she was very, very attached to him. And so I've been trying to work on like boosting her confidence to be by herself. And so she does go to daycare and does like extra training there other than what we do with her. But they had these dog war days. And so there was a photo booth. And the funny thing is, so I don't know my Star Wars very well. But so apparently one of the capes is good and one of the capes is evil, but she actually ended up being in both the capes, which was kind of funny. So these were the daycare photos. So I thought I would scrapbook them today. And then this is the aftermath of a full day of daycare, right? So they're like little kids, right? She's just exhausted, but it's super good for her. So I thought I would add these to a page today. So here we go. So we've got one 5x7, a 4x3, and a 3x3. And like I said, and I think I grabbed kind of maybe parts of a collection that you might not expect. So I did grab some pieces from the Gathering Together paper because, right, I said I had in my head that I wanted my title to look like it was dipped in gold. So I knew this was my starting point. And so I really liked the gold accents in this paper. So this is like a fall themed collection. I'll actually grab it. It's right here. Because we'll be using like lots of pieces from it. So just because it's fall themed, right? There's lots of, that's I think one of the things that I really have quite enjoyed about Stampin' Up! Also is that there's lots of just really good plain, not plain, but generic pieces of paper in the collection so that if you don't want it to scream fall, you can still use the collection very well. So you could use all these pieces of paper on like their B side for these, but these ones are both sides are very versatile, if that makes sense. So like I said, I grabbed some of the papers from there. Okay, so I do have a piece of Early Espresso cardstock, and then I have a piece of crumb cake. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of get my foundation in, and then I will create one of the sets of letters. Okay, so let's see if I can get this on here straight. The funny thing is, even though it's like fall here, like right, we are in, I think, the second or third day of fall. It is like quite warm here. So, okay. So then I have this piece. Okay. I have a 5x7 photograph. So we need to make sure we're going to have enough room for my 5x7 photograph, right? This is going to be her here. So we're going to add it first. So here we go. And she is so stinking cute. Actually, I had to take her to the vet this week because she had, she has like a little bit of an eye infection. And he just kept saying to me, she's so good. She's so good. She really is a good dog. Okay, so I'm going to add this to my mat. And I always just have a little white border. You could add it to your photograph, or because I use like photo placeholders, I just add my photos on top of them. Okay, how stinking cute is she? Okay, so first we're going to add this one. And because we've got a lot of stuff I'm going to add on here, I'm trying to make some room for myself. Because I have a title too. So we'll add this piece. So on the back side, it's this really pretty green and gold. You could also even use this right for Christmas, the green and gold. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to add this. This is fun too on the back side. It almost looks like bubbles or pebbles. but it's like that same early espresso color on the back. But I love the plaid. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we're gonna, that's correct. Okay, so we've kind of got like our foundation in here, right? Okay, so here's our big photo. And then we have our smaller photo. So we could put that together. So like I said, it's a 4x3. She was very lucky to be photographed in both costumes. Not everybody did get both costumes. So then I've got my, right, aftermath of daycare, where I think she slept for like 2 days after this, because it was obviously a lot of activity. Okay, so this one is just a 3x3. And then like for my mats, I use Misty Moonlight because that's what we're going to use for our title. Okay, and then this is going to be my little journaling spot. We're going to work on the title first. So like I said, here is my title. I pre-did it because I wanted to make sure it was going to look how I wanted it to look first. But I'll show you exactly what I did. So I just took my piece of Misty Moonlight, and then we took the, I'm going to take the little paw stamp, and I did use, oh, she's actually moving around. Okay, so then I just created myself a piece of paper that then I used the Party Alphas on, right? So the neat thing too about this stamp set is it lines up perfect, like not, it doesn't line up perfectly. They nest together quite nicely, the little paws. So and I just did like tone on tone. They'd all be also really be very cute, like if they were clear embossed, right? To get just that little bit of shine. But I'm getting the shine from the gold, so maybe I don't need to do that. So I just worked my way across. And I did the top, like the second set above. Right, you could also, like, isn't that super cute? Just create your own pattern paper for anything if you didn't want to use a pattern paper in a different spot. So let's just write this up. And clean off my book. Okay, so then I took the gold also and cut out my letters from both. So let's just, I'm going to do it behind me. She's literally lying on the floor between me and the machine. So So I'm going to have to step over her. Okay, so then I took my letter and cut it out. And I'm going to run it through separately because the gold foil is a little bit thicker, right? So I thought next week maybe we would do a different theme, and I'm going to do the same kind of look but a different way, and you'll see how much of a different like vibe it has. Okay, so then I cut out a gold one. So you guys check back next week because we'll do, when I'm finished this, I'm going to do a sketch, and then we'll do a different theme next week with the same kind of sketch. Okay, so then I have my gold one, right? And I really liked the shiny finish of that. So I wanted all my lines to be the same. So then I decided how much to cut off the letter, and you could obviously change the look by just cutting off more or less of the letter. So for this one, I cut off just 1/2 inch from the bottom on all my letters because I wanted them like consistently the same, right? So you could also do this in reverse if you wanted, right? This way if you wanted it to be more gold. But I went this route. Because don't get me wrong, I am about like the messy look. Not messy look, the like distressed look and like lots of layers on things, but that's not the kind of look that I was trying to achieve here. So I knew like I wanted all, like you can see the bottom is all exactly the same. I also used the gold as my foundation, right? Because it is thicker. So it gives the title a nice weight. So then I just line them up, right? And I'll set it aside to dry. Maybe I'll use this one on a card with a different word. That's why I picked O. I thought it was kind of a universal letter. I could use it for other things. Okay, so that's how I did my title. But I want a little like shelf for my title to sit on. So this is another piece from that paper, right? So it's got the pattern on the back, but nice generic on this side. So I think this is going to be big enough. And I might do like a skinny deep dovetail on one end. We're going to just see. And then I cut out the collar from a patterned piece of that paper, right? So we've got kind of like all the monochromatics going on. And then I wanted red accents. So I did the little dog tag from Real Red. Okay, so then let's get some things together here. Okay, so this turned out super cute too. So I did the ball because I thought it's daycare, right? They play with lots of toys. So it's basic beige on the back, and then I did a real red layer, and then I did the gold foil layer and sandwiched it back together. So Okay, let's see all the fun things I have on my little tray here. So I did lots of the little bones, right, with the basic beige. And then I made these. I thought they kind of made, I wanted them to look like a brad almost, right? But it had the little gold paw print on it. So how I did that is I took this circle right here and the little paw print, and I cut the paw prints out. You'll see here, where is it? I have this little piece here, and then I use this as my stencil to put my paw print back together. So on my piece of basic white, I just put my paw print down, and I actually added my glue. I don't have an extra paw print, or I would put one together. I added my glue and then put my pieces back in for the paw print, and then I just used the circle die to cut around them. So that's going to be one of our little accents. So here is, like, right, the pieces for the ball. Here's the gold. So I just wanted the stars. So all that I can use to assemble another ball. We've got some hearts on here. Like I said, lots of bones. Okay. So I'm going to use this on a different layout. I have specifically a reason for doing those 3 little paws in a row. But let's start putting this together. So I'm going to start with, so this is going to be my little journaling box. Actually, maybe we will add this here. Okay, so this was kind of my idea. I wanted to use this across the bottom of this journaling box and add some twine. And of course now she's like lying right behind me, so I can't sit down. Okay, so I actually, let's just see if I can make this work. I'm just not sure, thank you, if there's enough room. So I wanted to thread my twine and leave, kind of doing this blind, it's really scary, but okay. So, because I didn't actually plan this. Just when I did it the first time, I thought, oh, that's a little too close to the edge. I might have to fix that after, but okay. So my thought was, let's add our lines above. See, I should have done it just a little bit farther in, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So I'm going to add it. And obviously you could switch this out with the cat things. I just don't have a cat. So you guys have to see my dog. Actually, let's do this really close to the bottom. Okay. And a journaling pen. And a ruler. Let's add a little glue dot so this stops popping up on me. Okay, and let's just tack it down for a second. Okay. Apparently I cannot draw lines and talk at the same time. You know, some things are hard. Okay. There we go. So then and this is the black and white gold baker's twine. And it's got a really nice weight to it. There we go. Not exactly my vision, but that's okay. Sometimes things just take on a life of their own, right? So I'm going to add it. I'm going to probably have to trim that up a little bit, but we're going to add it with dimensionals to my journaling box. Okay, and actually I might go like this. Okay, so I'm going to add twine onto my photo here. And then we'll pop it up. I'll decide 1, 2, 3. And tie it over here because that's where I'm going to put my cluster of embellishments. Okay. So let's get these down. Whew, you guys, the lights in here with that all the lights on, it's very warm in my office. We have not had we did actually have some cool temperatures, but now we're back to quite warm. So fall can be so funny, right? It's like one way or the other. Okay. Better. I feel better now that she's stuck down. Okay. So then I just have to decide. I am also going to add dimensionals on here, but I'm going to use the long strip, but my scissors are actually like buried at the moment. But I want to secure my twine there so that it doesn't go anywhere. First, because I was kind of happy with where it was. So now I'm just trying to decide if I should dovetail this little piece underneath my title or not. Just first. I know, it's like the hard decisions, right? I just wanted, originally I didn't have anything underneath there, and I felt like it kind of needed somewhere to sit, the title. More so than just the little collar underneath it. There we go. Okay. So because this piece is going to be over top of the photo. It does not need dimensionals. So I think I'm going to do it, guys. So let's just see how big this piece is. Let's just get our title on first. And I am doing some overlapping, but I'm going to put it on dimensionals. And then if I have to, I can tuck some back underneath. I think that, too, the nice thing about this, the Party Alpha, is it's really set up well to take dimensionals. If I do say so myself, that's one of my favorite things. Okay. Thanks. I thought it was so funny when I saw the pictures because typically she doesn't participate in like the photo shoots when they do them. It was just so funny. And like when you look at her, the funny thing is you can totally see her personality. She's very sweet. Even though she's blocked me into my desk right at the moment because she's like right behind my legs. That's okay. There we go. Okay. So now, oh, I also grabbed, because I knew I was using real red on the layout, so I grabbed the Delightful Decorative Dots. So I think we'll use the red ones on here. Okay, but let's add some of our fun things in here. So we have the little ball. And then a bone. She does like her cookies. But thank you, Cindy. I will let her know. Lots of people actually tell her she's cute. So I think I have a feeling she might already know. This one I'm going to put on a dimensional. And actually, I think we'll add some of these in first. So there's 3 sizes of them. I might have to work on putting some dimensionals under this to make it stay flat. But I can just like tuck them in from underneath and then pull the backings off. There, that's better. I just felt like the bone got tucked in there a little bit too far. That's better. Okay. There we go. Like I said, I'm just going to play around with this a little bit after to fix the like concaveness of it to make sure it's a little bit flatter, because it's just hard to do it beforehand, right? Because you can't, I didn't actually know where I would need it, but I can literally just tuck them in underneath. And you don't even have to worry about taking the backs off, right? You just want it to, see, like already it's so much better. I'll just do some on the other side. And if you ever need to like move a dimensional and it won't, you don't want to rip something, you can just slice it off. Like just literally stick your scissors under there and cut it off. So now what I'll do is I'll add one here. I'll actually take the back off of it. Okay. And then so now it's flat and I can add them back in underneath O in the right spot. So much better. There we go. Okay, so I think it turned out super cute. So like I said, I will work up a sketch, and then next week we'll do a different version, different title, different theme. So that's what I've got for you guys today. We'll turn down a little bit of the lighting in my office. So I hope you guys all have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, guys, and I'll see you next week.